Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Old Guard. The Old Guard is based off of a comic book series of the same name. Directed by Gina Prince Brightwood, this film follows a group of Eternals who are attempting to navigate life while staying out of the hands of pharmaceutical tyrants. In the process, they are introduced to a new guard of their kind and work to show her what it means to be one of them. Now, I'm not familiar at all with the comic book series, if I'm being honest, and I generally kind of avoid trailers and marketing if it's possible. So I was pretty blind going into this film. I knew it starred Charlize Theron, and I knew it was action and badass. So I was fully on board for the Old Guard, needing nothing else. And I have to say, I thought it was pretty flippin' awesome. I had a great time with this movie. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, my biggest positive is Charlize herself. She kills it in this role, but what else do we expect? Much like she's done with Atomic Blonde or with Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road, she really brings everything that this type of action role requires, a real sense of humanity and personhood, while also bringing that physicality, bringing that intimidation, that badassery. And she does it all effortlessly. I loved her in this movie. I thought she was fantastic, and her character was amazing. I also think Kiki Lane was wonderful in this film. She takes a very different path to all of the others that are on our team, and she really sells it. This new person being introduced to this insane concept that her life has been thrown into, and kind of going through that process and dealing with that. Plus, she also pulls off the badassery amazingly well. She has an amazing swagger to her, even when she's just part of the military. I was on board. Matthias Schoenaerts, I just love. So I loved him here again. He doesn't really get the chance to do much special in the film, but regardless, I think he delivers exactly what you're hoping for. Marwan Kenzari, I would say, provides a lot of the heart to the film, and I loved him and Luca Marinelli and their chemistry together. Chiwetel Ejiofor is also in the film. Doesn't have a whole lot to do either. But while everybody gives solid performances, it's definitely the Charlize and Kiki show, and they are more than well equipped to hold it up on their shoulders. Now, Gina Prince Bythewood is the director of films such as Love and Basketball and Beyond the Lights and The Secret Life of Bees, several films that I really enjoy. And yet, she is a director that continues to just fly under the radar. Beyond the Lights was her last feature, and it was fantastic. I just wish more people had seen it. And here, she has another female led film, but this is like completely a departure from the style and feel of her previous films with a much more action heavy atmosphere, and she kills it. I think the direction of the film is really strong. The cinematography looks beautiful. The editing is really well done. The action is well put together. There's no big, amazing extraction level sequences or birds of prey level of stylization in here, but it's well shot. You can see what's happening. There's some really inventive stuff that goes down in the action, and it's just fun to watch. I also really liked the music. They recycle a lot of the same atmospherical music, and it is kind of stereotypical sad girl downer emo style music, but it worked really well for me, and I thought it was utilized well. And I loved the mythology here. This definitely intrigued me to seek out the comic book because I loved this story. And this is the type of film I would die to get a prequel for because there is just so much there. And in some ways, it's a little bit disappointing because it feels like all of this history that this character has been through would have made for an amazing story. And we're getting a good story, but there's just so much there that I would love to dive into. But the mythology was awesome. It had those fantasy action elements that I just adore. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to the old guard? Well, my biggest problem, far and away, is the villain. Oh, he's terrible. First off, it is just so generic, greedy businessman, has no morals. Like to a T, very, very generic villain, and he's very, very over the top, and I hated him. I hated him in the film itself as a person, and I just hated watching him. I wish we would have gotten something a little bit more nuanced. The story itself overall isn't all that unique, other than kind of the base premise is a cool kind of premise. But, you know, we've seen very similar stories. It was giving off vibes of something like X-Men mixed with something like Underworld, honestly. And I don't know if that's just the way Charlize was outfitted with that short black hair and a black outfit with that weaponry. But she was giving Celine vibes to me a little bit. And I can dig that. Just know going in, it's not all that original. Plus, there are some definite script problems, some dialogue issues for sure. Throughout the film, there's just consistent moments where it doesn't quite gel. It's not terrible, it's not bad, but the flow just doesn't quite sit as you would like it to. Plus, there's a coda at the end of this film that should have been a mid-credit sequence, if I'm going to be honest. It was a stinger that, one, could have just been left off altogether, or it should have been a Marvel-style sequence. The movie has a definite ending, and then we have a whole nother scene that didn't need to be there. But overall, I really had a good time with the old guard. If you are craving some summer blockbuster action, this is definitely going to feel that craving. Really fun fantasy story elements mixed with some badass action. Yes, please. So, if you already have a Netflix subscription, I definitely recommend checking out The Old Guard this weekend. So, that is my review of The Old Guard. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Old Guard, or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!